Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are opening and checking out the first magazine, number one, from the Hatchet, however you say it, Partworks Combat Patrol magazine. Yes, issue 1 with 2 models and some dice. We have a Terminator Captain and the Winged Tyranid Prime. Both the same as what you would have gotten in like the Leviathan box or in a lot of the other starter sets for 10th edition. But yeah, we got the front. Check out the back here. Free poster inside. Yeah, bear with the crinkly plastic for a moment and we will get inside of this. Okay. And we'll see what all is in here. I have active subscription to the Combat Patrol magazine. Probably just going to do the entire run. I like building and painting models and different models and stuff. So 9 Combat Patrols and 2 of the armies I already have, the Tyranids and Space Marines. So everything else will be stuff that is just new, that I haven't painted before or built. So let's start off here. Looks like we got 6 just smaller D6, 16 millimeter, no, 12 millimeter. I don't remember what the smaller ones are, but yeah, the kind of smaller D6, not like a normal full size. So we'll set those off to the side, but you know, just your basic black and white dice there. And then we have our 2 models. Check out this half. This is the Winged Tyranid Prime. I have built and painted mine from the Leviathan box finally. But there is the other side of the sprue. And then here is the back of the Captain and Terminator armor. But I have finished building him as well and painting him. But it's got a cool tactical rock base, but with a dead, the name escapes me, Screamer Killer, I believe, on there. But yeah, Terminator Captain, fun to build and paint. Yeah, but there's our models. The first edition of this was cheaper. I got $15 for the US version for issues 1 and 2, and I did the premium subscription, so yeah. All right, and then we have their 2 bases. Those over there. So let's check out the first magazine here, issue 1, and there's the Space Marine Captain and Terminator armor and the Winged Tyranid Prime. Build your first models, discover Warhammer 40k, play your first game. But probably not going to go through everything in the magazine. This is one thing I don't like, is how they glued the spines together, because they come apart to go into the binders later, but have a lot of glue spillover I've seen on other people's, so be kind of torn and whatnot. But I guess there's nothing you can do about it really, unless it's bad. But you can probably contact them for a replacement. But, you know, just have our overview here: build, read, collect, play. So there'll be a little bit of lore. It tells you some of the what the lore is. Tells you about what models are in here, and you can play a little introduction game between the 2 models, I think. But yeah, here is how to build. It'll show you how to build your models, and tell you what the different symbols and things mean. But yeah, Captain and Terminator armor. Then we have our lore bits, but like this is what I was talking about, where it's stuck together there and it's just tearing the holes. So hopefully we can get this apart a little better. But some of the pages are really good and some are like overdone. Like these look really good, but over here not so good. But yeah, there's our build guide for that. And then some of the lore. Welcome to the 41st millennium. Probably won't go through everything in the magazine, but talks about Space Marines, the Imperiums, Chaos, and the Xenos, and different things. We'll skip around here a little bit about the Tyranids. Here we have the Towering Horrors, like a Norn Emissary or a Norn Assimilator. We have our Captain and Terminator armor, and you can roll for his name and how he acts and things. You have like a little checklist for stuff, and then the same thing for the Winged Tyranid Prime here. But yeah, and then you have the data sheet for it as well for this, for Combat Patrol. And then you have your first mission where it's showing you kind of the core concepts, and you kind of learn how to play Warhammer through this magazine, but it kind of walks you through the turns and things. And then it shows you on the back here what is coming up in the next issues. So we have issue 2 with Von Ryan's Leapers, and then 3 here with Infernus Marines and Battlefield Essential cards. But yeah, so we'll set that up there and we'll check out some of the rest of this stuff. So we have our playmat. It is double-sided. So you have this kind of industrial kind of side here with the squares, the little rooms, I guess, the cards can sit on. And then the other side is just kind of a swampy looking area. It's made out of fairly thicker than poster, but kind of cardstock. And then we have our free poster inside Combat Patrol, the official collection here. So this is the poster. We'll get it opened up. It's a really cool poster if you like the box art and stuff. But we have the Terminator. I'm going to raise this up, it'll get a little shaky, but our Terminator captain, and there's the Winged Tyranid Prime, and like the Von Ryan Sleepers and things in the back there. It looks like maybe is that the Infernus Marines or Terminators? I think it's the Terminators. Yeah, the Terminators. They're in the back. There's the Infernus Marines up there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking poster. It's fairly huge as well. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and bring it back down, and then you can see the entire collection of what you're going to get in the 9 Combat Patrols. So you have Space Marines, Tyranids, Leagues of Votann, Eldari, Astra Militarum, Gene Stealer Coats, Cults, can't talk today, Orcs, Chaos Space Marines, and World Eaters. So, and a lot of these are the older Combat Patrols, so hopefully like the Orcs, and I guess the World Eaters is getting changed most likely soon. The Eldar already has, but you know, some of them are the older ones that people like a lot better, so I'm glad to be getting those. And then I don't know how I'm going to show this. Oh, you also get a bunch of paints through this. Going back up because I can't get the magazine down, or the poster, but you have like the lore about the Silver Templars and kind of the adverts there. And then on the other side, which we can go down, have the back here that shows what you get in the premium subscription. So you'll get Brutalis Dreadnought, a Hive Tyrant, which can also be billed as a Winged Hive Tyrant, I believe, and probably the Swarm Lord. I think it's the full kit. You also get a Demon Prince, as well as Howling Banshees, and Killicans for the Orcs, and Brokir Thunderkin for the Votann, and a Rogel Dorn Battle Tank for the Astra Militarum, and a Brood Coven for the Gene Stealers. That is our premium kits. And then it just kind of shows off what the magazine here is, the different things, and where to go, and then the free gifts you get throughout as long as you keep your subscription up. So you just have clippers and a mold line remover, some brushes, the binders, Combat Patrol mug, a Primaris Company champion, and then yeah, that is everything in this box. Magazine for issue number 1 of Combat Patrol. So if you liked what you've seen, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, ring the bell to keep up to date with my latest videos, and as always, have a great day.